Hey everyone, it's me, Dom Evans, also known as Dome Vans or the Crypt Crusader. I'm a disabled gamer and streamer, and I play games laying down and with a modified controller. My modifications allow me to hold my controller better, and they also allow me to press buttons easier because the tension in the controller has been removed. I use a modified Xbox One controller, and those are really the only modifications, but I'm excited because I'm going to be getting a new controller that actually has two extra buttons on it because I can't press the sticks. So I'll finally have access to those two extra buttons, and it'll make gaming a lot easier for me, I think. Anyway, as I'm waiting for that, let me tell you about the games I've been playing, the latest of which is Marvel Rivals. I really love Rivals because I'm able to play so many different characters in the game, and that's not true of a lot of games. And I also feel like I'm not horrible at most of these characters. I have been trying to get better at many of them, and this game is one of the games where I play the character I think I'm the best at. That one is Cloak and Dagger. I also want to say that I think that this is the first game that I'm showing you that's actually me playing competitive. I am kind of struggling to get out of bronze, and I know some of that is because I haven't had consistent matchmaking, and some of that is because as a disabled gamer, I really struggle if I don't play with consistent teams. And I've ended up with teams that have had, unbalanced teams. They've been unbalanced. Or I felt like I've been forced into playing a character that I don't have as much experience with. So I feel like I have spent more time the last few seasons getting better at all the characters, and I'm finally getting to the point where I feel like I'm better at competing, and therefore I want to try my hand at competitive again. As a disabled gamer, this is really the first game that I'm really getting invested in competitive gaming. I have played a little bit of Fortnite competitive, and I actually did really well because my strategy was more evasive, and I was able to get to second place in every game I played. So it was a pretty good setup for me to play it, but I wasn't consistent with it. I only played a few games, so I don't know that I really had time at the time to invest in trying to play, but I really want to give that time to Marvel Rivals because I feel this is the best game I'm able to play. It's certainly the most accessible to me. I don't know how other disabled gamers feel, but I know that for me, it works with all of the tools that I've created to make gaming accessible to me, which is like knowing what characters I can take a breather for 1 second, if I lose my controller because I don't have good grip and my controller slips out of my hands a lot. So in those moments, if I have a character like Namor, I can duck around a corner, adjust my controller, and then get right back in the game. And he'll be in the game anyway because I can lay down both his monstros in that moment, and they're doing double duty for me, and I can take care of my controller and my accessibility need, and then get right back in the game, and it does not affect my teammates. I had a game recently with 48 kills as Namor, and there are moments where I'm just standing still because I'm adjusting my controller, but I'm getting 2 kills because I knew where to put my monstro spawn, and I knew how to do it to be an accommodation for my disability. And that's the thing I can bring also to YouTube is these are little accessibility tips. I didn't even realize that the way I play is adaptable to me. And it might look like I'm standing still, but I'm not really doing that. I was strategically taking a moment to fix my controller because I sometimes need to do that. And I don't want my disability to impact my gameplay or my team. And that's my specific thing. I personally don't want my disability to impact gameplay. So I'm trying to find ways to minimize that as much as possible. Let's get into this game, though. It is, as I said, a competitive game, and I'm really excited to show it to you because competing against people is hard for me. It's something I've had to work very hard to do. So I really hope you enjoy this game. I've talked your ear off already. So let's get to it and let's watch this game. And then you can, when it's over, please leave a comment and tell me what you think.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong. Well, from one mother to another, let me say
this is definitely my pregame ritual where I love to destroy everything. I love the convoys best. We are on the Spider Islands, and I'm staying back a little conservatively here. I probably could have gone up a little faster, but I saw my teammate and I was going to follow them out. Oh, I wasted my wall. I don't often waste my wall. That's one thing. I usually have pretty good cloak wall proficiency, but I missed that guy back there. But I'm, kind of sticking to the corner. A lot of the competitive cloaks I watch stay back a little bit. They stick to the corner. That's how I instinctively have been playing cloaks since the beginning. I tend to play a little conservatively initially when I'm learning characters, but I feel like I'm starting to get a good grasp of Cloak and Dagger, so I like the choices I'm making here. I did watch a YouTuber, I can't remember who it was, and they said, one thing they saw Cloak and Dagger people do was open their bubbles always for themselves, and that's really not the purpose of your bubble as the primary focus. It's to be able to heal your teammates, and you use your bubble if you need it to save yourself, mostly. That was not the smartest choice for my wall. I was a little annoyed at that Scarlet Witch, and I wanted to get her, and that was a little sloppy on my part. But I don't want I don't want to be sloppy again. When I make mistakes, I try to learn from them. I'm holding on to my alt. Okay, so I decided in that moment I got a little separated from my team, and I think I thought there were more people ahead. I might have wasted my ult there. Not my best use of my ult, but
I am ready to put on a show.
I should have gotten to my teammate sooner. But now we're kind of back in sync. I like the invisible woman that I'm playing with. I think she's great. Scarlet Witch really likes me. I've gotten pretty good at blocking Scarlet Witch's ult. That was the first ult I learned to block because I got real tired of being killed by her. I saw the Scarlet Witch on me and the smoke, and that was again not. I did not use my ult the best right there again. I was so worried about that we're dying there. I thought if I could just hang on and stay alive.
I'm back to shed some light.
Heads up, hostiles.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger.
We're all trying to help where we can. I like that I killed that person through everything. Through the invisible woman. Well. And thank you to Invisible Woman helping keep me healed up during that. So I can try to drain them. Yeah, I had a really good team there. There were a few mistakes. This was my first competitive game of that season, so...
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Promise me you'll take it easy out there, Susie.
Benjamin J. Grimm, you should know by now that I'm far from helpless.
Oh, I ain't worried about you. I bet you should take it easy on that.
Well, in that case, we'll just have to wait and see. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Help get that vehicle to its destination.
So yeah, I like where I started. I never know where to start on this map as Cloak and Dagger. Sometimes I start a little farther back, sometimes a little forward, but this is an area where I kind of follow my team's lead.
Feeling fantastic. All systems go. Just embrace the light.
So yep, here comes my nemesis, Angela. This was right after Angela was introduced. I think this was my first game against Angela, and she just kept dragging the heck out of me. I just kept trying to heal everybody I could. Kept trying to stay alive. Not my best move. I missed my... I put it too far out of my reach. That's why I tend to look down when I'm putting my purple at my feet, so... Again, Angela's trying to get us.
I am ready to put on a show. My time to shine.
Get in here, y'all.
The goal's to stay alive, and I'm trying hard to. Yeah, I got tied to her. I got tied to her weapon.
You're halfway there. Keep going. My time to shine.
Look who's here. I was fine.
Not today, Angela, not today.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
This is one of my favorite areas to defend. I feel like I was trying to see where my teammates were to heal them. And they were behind the sign, so I needed to move as close to them as I could. And that's why I decided to try to go over there to try and heal more people.
Jury! Executioner!
Vehicle reached a checkpoint.
It's like, come on, Angela, leave me alone. I've gotten better about avoiding Angela in games since then. I really just wanted to get rid of Angela in that moment. Not the best use of my ult, but Angela was getting to me. I think that's her job, right?
I am ready to put on a show. So close. This is your big chance. I'm about to shield up.
That last minute desperation, but I feel like this is how a lot of competitive games go. It's 3 versus 3. You're supposed to be pretty evenly matched up, but you know, this is the game and we're ready to take it to the next level and, you know, get the win, right? That's the name of the game. So let's see what happens in the next round. They're a little bit closer, trying to get us early on.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Only 60 seconds left.
I got you covered.
I like how me and Invisible Woman are she's kind of healing in the front, And I'm making sure she stays healed on top of everyone else, and I'm protecting myself with the corners. So
Down to 30 seconds.
I think that's a great strategy when you have two healers.
Hurry, we're running out of time. Better stop that vehicle. They've made it halfway. Stop them.
Staying back allowed me to avoid Angela in that moment, so... I mean, it's really Angela's job to drag the healer. It is. So. That was my ult of desperation. So we did what we could in that moment, and now we have to hold them.
Including which side you're on. 30 seconds before you
Now we got a rocket with us. I think it's a smart move.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Yeah, that was a rough one, but luckily we had a rocket. So I decided to go back a little further because I'm holding down the fort. I'm trying to stay alive. This is my first competitive game of this season, so...
Only 60 seconds left.
I think I was a little nervous.
Get that vehicle moving again.
I know all the mistakes I made, things I could do differently in the next game. My wall missed Angela. This was the game where my wall did miss, and I don't usually have a lot of misses with my walls, so... My cloak wall specifically, my dagger wall hit for a lot of the game. For a minute, I just saw Angela in my face, and I thought it was the other teams, but then I realized, oh, it's my teammate.
Everybody needs a hand sometime. We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
That was like, you know, the ult of last, you know. We ulted together, Invisible Woman and I. And that's how we won. It wasn't the prettiest win for me, but it was a win, and I will take it. And the next games, I will do better. And thank you to our rocket. I think the assists speak for itself, you know, speak for themselves. At the end of the day, I didn't have the most knockouts, but I really helped my team by assisting them. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do think there are some things I definitely do that I didn't realize that I do because I'm disabled. And I hope that those things will help other disabled gamers. Anyhow, leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.